Everyone, I am Dr. John Wolfenstein here, and this week is another fantastic episode of Tyranny of Dragons. Anyway, I am your humble dungeon master, or master of dungeons, as I like to say, Dr. John Wolfenstein, and these are my fantastic players. But before we get into who they are and the crazy, chaotic amazingness that we will be going through today, I would like to share with you guys a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost is, with the schedule change, unfortunately, the Game of Thrones session did have to come to an end. But if I do replace it with something, I will keep you all updated and in the know. However, I do have a spot on some new games for my paid sessions. I have some spots open on D&D 5e Adventure, which plays every Friday at 4 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. It is a homebrew world made by me, taking place in what I call the Immortal Empire. My couple of my crew here will know the Immortal Empire and the fantasticness that it is. But actually, everybody but White should, because they all played in the home game at one point in the Immortal Empire. But I do have one spot open. This is like at least 100 years after that campaign. But Byrosh and Glint are not, and neither is Briar. Allison is a little busy where she's at. Time doesn't travel the same in the Shadowfell. Well, no, she went off to go deal with something, and then found her way there. Yep. That is true. She became the first Warforged. Yep. But I do have one spot for D&D 5e Adventure, and then I have D&D Essentials Adventure. I currently have a known 2 spots. There may be a negotiated 3rd spot, depending on a certain player and whether or not he wants to stick around and play. This particular game is every Tuesday evening from 10 p.m. Both games last 3 hours, so next week, Tuesday. This is going to be... Both of them are paid games. The D&D 5e Adventure is 10. The Essentials Adventure is 12. The reason the Tuesday one is 12 is because it's a bit more inconvenient for me to run it, but also because I plan to use so much from the Roll20 Essentials kit, and I plan to run the whole adventure. So I plan to run every single adventure that came with that Essentials kit, including the Dragons of Icespire Peak, including pretty much everything. So there will be a huge bunch of content, and it will go until we run through it all. And because it is not going to be homebrewed, and because it's not something I've really had before, and it's going to be the most professional, because my homebrew games I can get a little crazy. But I figured, you're paying for a game, you're not paying for my insanity. Though some people would argue that they want my insanity, so fair enough. But fucking BioWare's entire mission statement. Yeah, BioWare, Ubisoft, pretty much any AAA developer right now it's not a bug, it's a feature. And then Fallout 76 took that motto and ran with it. Yeah, Bethesda took that motto and ran with it. They released a whole game that's a feature and called it Fallout 76. And anyone who actually still plays that game, you and I will have words. So Matt, you and I are going to have more words later. Don't hold your breath, you'll suffocate. Yeah, no, I turned that shit in. Yeah, fair enough. And that's why I buy games still in hard copy as often as I can, because for a shit game like that, I'd like to return it. Although, I will say this, Steam's returns are actually fairly easy, because I recently returned a pretty shit game that was still shit, and I went, it was shit when it released. Wonder if it's any better after a couple years. Nope, it's still garbage. Okay, good to know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're here for Amazing D&D, which has only once been a disappointment. Fourth edition. I mean, what? Who said that? That's not a nice thing to say. But anyway, so uh, a business year. So let's see. That's minus 2 days every week. So 52 weeks a year minus four. Like, I'm not doing that math. I was just fucking around. That's exactly right. I'm not doing that goddamn math, and you can't make me. But anyway, uh, so without further ado, let me introduce this fantastic cast of characters. So immediately to my right this week, we have Mr. Urich playing Jay, our human Way of Mercy monk. And then, yeah, if that's what you want to call it, we have immediately to his right, or rather to my screen's right, at the far end, we have Mr. Whitehill playing Fear, our Tortle Death Domain Cleric. Nice. Play the whole game like that, I dare you. Immediately under me, we have Mr. Masson playing our Wood Elf Rune Knight. Uh-oh, he might still be AFK. God damn it. Jerk. Anyway, immediately under Eric, we have Mr. Matt playing Wolfenite, our Earth Genasi Wildfire Druid. I was gonna say, or like you, oh, okay, like so one case, because like one Dr. Pepper and we have questions. I still have questions, right? Doesn't it always seem to work that way? Well, I'm a little bit ahead this month, thank God, but that's because I did some stuff that I'm not proud of. But anyway, and then of course we have Miss Callie Cat, last but certainly not least, playing Celine the Stargazer, our human warlock cleric hybrid, and of course with her is Saloon the Lord of Storm. Well, you know what they say about fire. It cleans the skin off the bone and the sin off the soul. It cleans away the dirt, and my mama didn't raise herself no dirty boy, said the first fire bat. Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, we are missing our orc assassin Rattlegast. Unfortunately, I almost said Rattlegast the Brown, and I went, "That's not right." Yep, Grandfather Greenwillow. Unfortunately, my brother David had some things he had to do today, this evening. So unfortunately, he is unable to make it. He is getting fitted for a suit to be in a wedding, so he is gonna look fly. I've actually never seen him in a suit, to be honest. I don't. There's never been a time where him and I have been in the same venue in a suit. Like, I dress up in a suit for work every day because I do. Um, anyway, where last? Oh, hold on. I need to get some liquid sustenance to just to fuck with Matt a bit. Hey, Doctor Pepper, if you wanna sponsor us, like you have two people who will drink all of the Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda zero because I just like the cream soda and Dr. Pepper combo because it is brilliant. Speaking of my shirt, yeah, we are totally cool to be sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Hell, if you send me a big enough banner, I'll fly it right behind me instead of my amazing sword collection, brought to you courtesy of Bleach. One of the Yes, all the ones immediately behind me are all from Bleach, starting with Kenpachi, going to Coyote Stark, going to Yachiru's, going to Fujikujako. I forget that guy's name. Umichika, that's it. This is Trepadora from the Loopy. Right beneath him is Hinako. This is Katen Kyakotsu. And then this is Shirayuki. This one? Well, it's actually pink. Oh, and now Yep, and now you can welcome Mason, who plays our Wood Elf Rune Knight serial. But yeah, no, Dr. Pepper, if you want to sponsor us, just go ahead and I'll put a big ass banner if you send me one right behind me every stream. I mean, hey, you know what? Nobody's paying us anyway, so what does it matter? And besides, this is my game. I'll run it how I want. Just kidding. But anyway, guys and gals, let's get right to it because last time on Tyranny of Dragons, our party, I'm not even going to call you heroes, our party kidnapped a cultist, tortured him, murdered him, then raised him as a ghoul. It was a ghoul, by the way. There was some debate over that. There was some debate over that last session, but no, it was a ghoul. Just so that Whitehill can control it and not put everyone in immediate danger. Yeah, just necromancer things be necromancer things, yeah. Mm. Well, yeah, the guy you tortured counts as the seventh creature for okay. Our adventurers, who are like the Slayer's heroes, it's like, yeah, they're heroes, kind of, but they're very morally questionable. Which, by the way, is a fantastic anime that is technically D&D, just the silliest side of D&D. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would totally love to have the Doom guy be the Pope. That would be the greatest. That would be the greatest Pope in the history of my lifetime. Well, anyway, the group. So the group did all that except for I think Celine was one of the only people who was not part of that. Yeah, Serial and Celine stayed behind because Serial kept Celine from adventuring with them. That is true. The hummingbird was there to witness, and the hummingbird did gain experience points from witnessing and helping in that shit. If I think I am getting tribbles, so I think actually I may at some point be able to actually give levels to Saloon. Saloon gets levels in Assassin. But anyway, uh, so they slept through the yeah right. They slept through the night for the most part uneventfully. Saloon, or rather Celine, because she did this to me on purpose. Callie. Uh-huh. Anyway, uh, Celine unfortunately had a lot of interesting dreams that she doesn't quite remember. Especially doesn't remember if they were dreams about her life or dreams about a life she's heard of or what they are. But she spent the night reliving these odd moments in time, and the whole camp and caravan was awakened by the scream of murder. And that is where we find ourselves now. So you have all woken up to this amazing scream. What do you do? Oh, roll a perception check, everyone. I mean, I can actually go onto your character sheet and click the goddamn buttons. Take it's 4 clicks to click your character sheet, to click the thing, and then to click the button, and then to click it a second time to roll with disadvantage. Yeah, because I'm petty like that. Also, to that Starbucks worker, you know who you are. I win. No, I'm not. Until he gives me a goddamn apology, I'm not letting it go. That's all I want. Anyway, everyone but Wolfenite. Sorry, Wolfenite. You're still groggy and waking up. Yeah. So, everyone knows that it came from the cultists' wagons. Fair enough. Um, Acrony, his two assistants, and Von Ram all go moving towards the cultist wagons, as does most of this caravan. Uh, all of the merchants, in fact, all of the merchants and all of the guards. Celine. So, so as you all arrive, excuse me, one of the cultists has indeed been murdered, and he is laying underneath. Well, was from the drag marks laying underneath one of the wagons that the cultists had. This man has a big gaping wound in his back, or at least big is relative, but it's not a dagger. It was a sword. Clearly, it's the wound is too big to be a dagger. Rattlegast is actually hobbling up behind you guys, but he is definitely putting on the old man routine that you first saw him. You're right. He is definitely putting on the old man. No, he followed last, and he is the last one to arrive at the very back of the group. But no, he's putting on that old man act that you all kind of remember seeing. Is that he was old, but not feeble, but definitely played up that old man bit when you first met him. That is true. Celine thinks it's normal. Selena's never seen him be otherwise. Oh, it's all right, my child. Just come. So as you say that, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget rule one of my table. Anything can and will be considered in character unless explicitly stated otherwise. Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, so Rattlegast and Wolfenite are the last two to arrive. So of the party, who would be the first? Okay, uh, so that's fine. It'll go Thirhay and then immediately Serial and Jay. So as you three and Vonram and Acrony all get there, and then the rest of the crowd comes around, the leader of the wagon, immediate of the cultists, immediately looks up and points. You killed him. He actually points at you, Jay. You just yesterday had a short sword on your side, and he's dead by short sword. Acrony also nods his head. Oh, yeah, that's right. And besides, I hired them, and they've been right where they're supposed to be. Besides, any bloke could have a short sword. In fact, they've got short swords. He points to his two henchmen. Right. And as he says that, well, you guys were the ones who's been messing with us. Don't think we didn't know that was you messing with us a couple days ago. To which everyone kind of looks around confused. Roll roll a persuasion check with advantage, Celine. No. Well, it's a 19. So everyone around just nods as you've gotten around this camp, this whole caravan. You've talked to fucking everybody here. And everybody for the most part likes you aside from the cultists. You're this sweet little innocent that they have no idea why you're on this dangerous journey. They have no idea why you're here other than you're here to do good, is what you've said, and you're here to save the world. Mm-hmm. Thierhe, what do you say to this? So you see he actually moves towards you and actually speaks. It's at this point, though, that both of you have the presence of mind to realize there's at least a dozen other guards here. Not including you guys and not including the cultists, but there's a dozen other guards, three of which are dwarves with warhammers, two of which are ready, as if combat was about to break out. And then you remember that technically outright murder is still wrong. Now, granted, Thierry's idea of right and wrong is flexible, we'll call it that. However, you do know that at this particular moment, it would cause more harm than good to your cause to get rid of this one. And you see him reach down for his sword, but then he kind of takes an assessing look around. Well, can you prove it wasn't you? Is there anyone who can corroborate? Well, if it's not you, it's one of them. And he points to Jay or Acrony's two guards, to which Acrony actually swells up. Oi now! Why would any of mine steal from you? Is anything even missing? Can you even prove that nothing's missing? Have you even looked? Maybe we should check and see if something's missing. And then we can check everyone else's carts. I want everyone to roll me an insight check. And Celine, go ahead. Well, welcome to being a cleric, my guy. Yeah, you did. You and Rattlegas were last. Yep, fair enough. Uh, yeah, well, fair enough, but he's also not acting. So, Serial and Jay, you see him immediately start to think about that, and he just well, hmm. Mm-hmm. To which, at this point, you all see Asbara Jas step forward. My friend, it is clearly not the work of anyone here. To which, Oyen nods. Right. Besides, these fine folks have saved this caravan plenty of times. My own hide and Acrony's included. And Asbara nods. Indeed, it was likely some unfortunate accident. Maybe a brigand who failed to get far and is lost in those woods there, the Waterdeep forest. Please, there is no need for such hostilities. Not between all of us traveling. We're almost at the end of our journey. We shall perform a burial and give him his proper last rites, and then we shall move on. To which Acrony, Oyen, and a bunch of the merchants all nod their head. Right. Besides, with no witnesses, none of us can do anything. The gods will punish the guilty party, and we'll all go on. Um. Oh my God. Anyway, so with Asbara's words, the main merchant's agreement, and even the guards all kind of nodding their head, the man loses some of his steam, like almost all of it, as he just glares at you all. And Jay, he looks at you as if looks could kill you'd be dead in like 6 lifetimes. Like you'd be dead over and over and over again. You just rebirth, die, rebirth, die, rebirth, die for like eternity. To which, right, I was gonna say. But Asbara nods and just guides the man away. The cultists all like flash you a dirty look, Jay, and then just go back to their caravan. You can see now that even in the day they're posting guards, and now they don't trust nobody. Um, but everything kind of breaks up. Um, as everything breaks up, Acrony, huh, I don't know who they think they is. Bunch of weirdos hanging out at the front of the caravan. I mean, who could have killed them but them? Ah, whatever. Hey, Ian, let's go get some drinks. It's breakfast. Let's drink some beer. Ian nods. All right, look here. This isn't Among Us, okay? Relax. Rattlegas actually. Yeah. What up? Yeah, it's a new day. Rattlegas actually grabs your shoulder. As well meaning as you are, my dear, it might be best to give them time to mourn first. Well wishes, even with the best and sweetest of hearts, are not often well received by those in the throes of grief. We will do something nice for them later, I assure you. And he gently begins to guide you, Celine, away. Um, yep. Oh yeah, they're going to Oyen's wagon. Oh, oh, they've gone a couple wagon lengths down and are like sitting around a campfire. Yeah, the campfire about 60 feet, give or take. Okay, okay, and so you cast Zone of Truth. Is there a reason, or are you just casting it? Okay, are you gonna get closer to see what they're talking about? Okay, oh, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so as you guys go over there, You notice that you're not alone. There's someone with you. You, huh? It is. She has joined you guys, and she just looks at you all. Oh, you look right terrible. Are you all right? Oh, what's wrong? Who got murdered? She says a little aghast. No, she just went, who got murdered? Sure. Roll an insight check. Okay. So, uh, I mean, she seems to be genuinely shocked. It's not like she knew. They'll kind of look at you, kind of confused. What? Oh, yeah. Jenna just, okay, and just walks away. Okay. I know your spell save DC. Yep. Serial does. I particularly for spells that you trigger that you know whether or not the effect will work or not. That's on you. If you want to pass it, you can. I don't believe that people are dumb enough to include themselves in their own spell effect unless it's like a damaging AoE. And in which case, yeah, no, not at all. Oh, hey, that got a little heated there. Are you sure you're all right? I understand, but you should really be more careful. I mean, those guys are weird, and they've been acting weird ever since they got on this caravan. So just don't go picking fights. Besides, you still got to get me and my cargo to Waterdeep, and we're still at least 2 days out. Defend yourself is one thing, but don't go starting trouble. He says, I don't know if I shared this to you previously, but you should all have that. Oh no, I didn't share it to you. But anyway, that was when the Ettercaps attacked you. I'm so sorry. Anyway, but so you guys, so Serial, do you ask them anything? The caravan in front of us? There's a bunch of weirdos, and I don't like them much. A bunch of jerks. I've asked them to come drinking with me a number of times, and they've always refused. And oh, Yen too. It's not nice, fellas. Not at all. I'm one day going to remember the voices I fucking give these characters. Please bear with me. Well, why else would you kill someone in this caravan? You're not gonna get away with it. Not really. Not well. I mean, if you're stupid, you won't get away with it. But why else kill somebody here? You're stealing something. I mean, that's why I hired you guys. I hired you guys to protect me as much from the monsters and bandits on the road as the thieves in it. A good woman. And he kind of glances at Celine, shakes his head, and then a good woman. If I want is someone dead, I wager I could pay you guys your 10-day wages, and you do it. Now, right, look, I don't care if you did or not. Don't get caught. Now, I personally ain't got nothing against anybody in this caravan except maybe that fucker. And he points down to this one guy who's at the very back, but he's the lawyer that's traveling. He's like, that guy's a prick. Now, if you want to go kill that guy, I'll happily pay you. But let's be very clear here. Yeah, sure, no problem. Now, let's be very clear here. I don't care about nothing. All I care about is you guys getting me and my goods to Waterdeep. You can still do that, yeah? Then I ain't worried about nothing, and I don't need to know nothing. Now, apparently he and this lawyer have a history somewhere. Fuck that guy. Well, there's something wrong with that lawyer. But anyway. They have to be. But anyway, and Oyen just shrugs. I don't like anybody in this caravan except maybe Acrony. And Rattlegast, of course. And he nods his head to Rattlegast, and Rattlegast, look, I ain't got nothing against anybody, but I don't like anybody. That's me. I'm straight honest. I like maybe 2 people in this caravan, and then, the rest of you, if y'all died tomorrow, I wouldn't shed a tear over it, but I'm not going to get off anybody. I already lost one of my greatest sellers. Do you know how much that owl would have made me? Cuff. You know. At this point, you sense as Vonram walks into your area of influence and passes the check. And he just looks at you and then shakes his head disapprovingly. But says nothing as he sits down and starts drinking. Right? Technically, you're an undead turtle. Well, I can smite you now, honestly. But there's no fun in that. Nah, you're not one of the eternal enemy. I don't really care. What? No, I didn't. The eternal enemy is the demons and the extra planar creatures that come here. I'm gonna kill them all, I tell yous. He's not. I was. He looks at you and he pokes your shell with his hammer. You a demon? You an extra planar monster? Alright then, I ain't got nothing. And he just goes back to drinking. Um, as you all right, as you all have this conversation, Jay and Celine, you two are walking back to the camp together, and have you joined this conversation at the campfire, or did you go back to your caravan? Because technically they're at Oyen's wagon. All right, but so the two of you are headed with Wolf and I back to your guys' wagons. Yeah, they followed Acrony and Oyen to Oyen's wagon. So, yeah. Thing. Yeah, I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. We're having breakfast, and we're gonna make some. We're gonna make some wicker back sits. Anyway, Wolfenite, you're able to kind of see that these two are having a conversation. You don't know what it's about. You're also not very nosy by nature, so you don't go prying, I imagine. Um, Go ahead and roll me a nature check. Uh-huh. Whoop, did we lose someone? Oh, no, someone. Okay. So, uh, as you guys, as you guys get back to your campsite, um, you start thinking about um, the north and about where you heard the uh, cultists were planning to go. You know, what you do know is that the north offers a lot of new challenges for you that you haven't encountered before. Um, the mire of dead men is going to be a problem, and you do know that if the road from Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate is this heavily patrolled, rather this heavily trafficked, and people are having to hire guards, you know that the same is going to be true of the high road that connects Neverwinter to Baldur's Gate. And since you do know that they are going to go somewhere near the mire of dead men, that there's going to be someone looking for more guards. So as you get to Waterdeep, that might be an option for you. You also think back to the story you heard in the tavern of the Archdruid of Neverwinter. Now, it would have to be a powerful Archdruid to keep people out of Neverwinter Wood, or at least to keep Neverwinter Wood in check, because, well, it's a large stretch of woods. I mean, it stretches all the way north to the River Mirar, which I will go ahead and actually bring that name to the map so you can see it. That comes out of the city of Luskan. So it's the Neverwinter Wood stretches all the way there, and then all the way south, right to the right almost to Leylon. And it's a big wood. It maybe not as big as the high forest, which is just to the due right of you guys, but it's definitely bigger than the Trollbark Forest, the Southwood, and the Ardeep Forest. Also, the Forest of Worms, which you guys were close to when you were near Green Nest, and it's about a little bit bigger, if not the same size as the wood of the of Sharpteeth. But with all that being said, you know for certain that somebody is going to be looking for guards if there's another caravan going north. You just know that. And so once you get to Waterdeep, that might be something to consider. As a druid, learning and knowing these wilds, especially from what you've heard from other druids along the way, yeah, that is definitely the case. So, as the camp packs up for the day, you guys start to travel. Fair enough. As you guys get to traveling, you notice that there's a cultist. There's always a cultist. There's one particular cultist. Excuse me. There's one particular cultist on the back of the wagon, and she is just watching you guys. You can see she's facing back on the back of one of the wagons and is just watching you the whole time, because you guys are pretty close to the front. In fact, I think you guys were the front. No, it's a different one. Because that guy, that was a man and he was the leader. This is a woman. This is a female. And she looks to be slightly older than Celine. Um, but she's just watching you guys, glaring daggers at you. Acrony's inside, so he doesn't notice. Doesn't really care. Yeah. But, you know, anyone who's ever outside will notice her. But you guys travel through a whole day and night, or through the whole day. You guys bed down for camp, and you have one more day of travel, and you will reach Waterdeep by the morning. By the late afternoon of the next day. So, is there anything you guys wanted to do tonight? Sure. Anyone else? Okay. Celine, for one of the first times in a long time, you feel tired. You can't stay awake tonight. You correct. Um, your brain is crying out. You were in a daze most of the day, and you did your best to rest and sleep, but your sleep was not restful at all. You kept waking. You kept. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Sure, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yep, dexterity. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if you can think of another one. Yep. Go ahead and roll that guidance, though. The only, the one thing that you're able to draw with any kind of clarity, because it stuck out to you the most, is the little girl question mark holding the hummingbird. You're able to draw that with crystal clear memory. Everything else is like has erase marks and scratch outs where you're not sure if you got it right, but this one scene you got perfect. You know that. Hmm. Hmm. Who is driving the wagons? Okay. Wolfenite. You're the only one with the high passive perception to actually know this. So there has been a bard that has been in your group. You know of him, yes. Uh, can't remember what we gave this particular one. We'll call him Xeris. But he is a high elf missing an eye, and he has always been playing a lute or a bard or even a violin. A lute or a bard? Wow, I am fucking tired. A lute, a harp, or a violin. Excuse me. You notice that him and Jamna, the gnome, are talking as you guys make camp for the evening, and that they seem to be deep in conversation. Yeah, they're a bit of ways. They're a little past Oyen's camp, so about 80 feet or so. But they seem to be having a deep conversation about something. And you notice that while they're having this conversation, Xeris is tuning his instruments, seems to be plucking at them kind of haphazardly. He's not wearing his hat. He's still wearing his hat, rather. And he's never taken off that hat in your presence. Or in anyone's presence. Yeah, he is. He is always wearing his hat. You have never seen this man without his hat. In fact, the one time you saw him perform, he pulled out a second hat to ask around for coin. But fair enough. But you do notice it. It is something that you are, your passive perception allows you to see. So Gnome's been talking to a lot of people that you imagine. Go ahead, Jay. Yes. 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 Yep. You will have it completed by the time you reach Waterdeep. Nope. Yep. You're still working on it, and I will make sure to uh, tell you exactly what poison or toxin you get. I don't know. Thankfully I start keeping actual notes now, along with my customized DM screen. Which, by the way, folks at home, don't forget that Word document you can insert tables into, and so it's very easy to just kind of label people and have like all their important stats, like their name, their health point maximums, their ACs, their alignments, dark vision, yes or no, and then their passive perception. For the spellcasters, you just add spell save DC and their spell attack bonuses. Correct. For Rattlegast, I have his sneak attack dice. How many he currently rolls? 3d6, yes. And then for Cereal, I actually have how many runes he has. He's got a sky set. He's got a rune of sky set on Rattlegast and fire on him. Yes. Yeah, nope. But anyway, so as you guys bed down for the night, Cereal, go ahead and roll me first a perception check and then a Constitution saving throw. Because you're an elf, you can make it at advantage. Because technically, you don't need to sleep. Mm-hmm. Sure, I'll allow it. For perception. Mm-hmm. Yes, 24. Um, sleep and the sleep is irrelevant to one of the longest lived races in Faerun. You guys are used to never sleeping. Your trance is uh, not what anyone would call sleep, and thus does not apply. Right. But you're able to power through the night just fine. Um, right. Um, but uh, as you go through the night, your ghoul with you doesn't notice anything. Nothing is out of the ordinary or out of place. Everything's chill for once. It's just a nice, quiet night. And it's actually fairly warm, all things considered. Um, now, the one thing you do know, and the one thing that you've seen, is that the cultists, again, are now fully on guard. They are making damn sure that nothing else happens to anyone. And as such, they are very well aware of you, and they are keeping a sharp, sharp, sharp eye on you. In fact, you see um, three guards just watching you in your camp, and that's all they do all night is just watch your camp. So you do see all of them like take a step back. They all like point their spears, and look like they're ready to come fuck you up, but none of them do anything. Fair enough. I was like, I'm clearly going crazy. It's not the point here. Um, but yeah, no, it's easy enough. You give them a good spook, but they pretty much calm right back down. They don't get froggy. They don't get out of hand. They don't get crazy. They just it is what it is. And yeah, that's it. Um, is there anything else that you would like to do during the night, uh, Mason? Fair enough. you know, you want it as mother always said to raise a family. It works. And technically in D&D, all you need to become a demigod is enough worshippers and a portfolio. So, you know, technically, Matt, all you'd need to do is go back to Green Nest and convince people that Goodberry is the fruit of life, and then you could keep them alive for a long time. That's true. We are fighting humans now. My name is Natasha. They're fighting humans. And now I've started them. Now my heroes are gonna derail this whole campaign by starting their own cult. God damn it! But anyway, well, he is a dragon turtle. Hmm. So so technically, I will say this: the Hand of Vecna is still on Vecna, way over in Taldore, wherever that is. Because technically, descent into Avernus has not happened yet, so that means Archon has not stolen the Hand of Vecna from Vecna yet. By the way, for those of you who don't understand how impactful Critical Role was, their fucking series, their first campaign's finale, literally created Descent into Avernus. You're welcome. And thank you, Critical Role. Anyway, back to Waterdeep. Uh, so, that man is a genius. I'm sorry. But anyway, um, as you guys wake for the day, nothing has happened. There's no drama. It's just another day on the road. And your last day, as you can actually see the endless smoke from all the chimneys and all of the life coming from Waterdeep. City is something. Now, this is by far one of the largest settlements in Faerun. In fact, it may be the largest. The censuses aren't quite in yet. But, they just might, Matt. Fucking, there is a homebrew god for you. Google a god of knowledge. But he's chaotic. He's a chaotic good deity, so you never know if it's actual knowledge or not, or just fake knowledge. Yep. Yep. They tell you nothing. Yeah, I'm fucking down. I already made a wild magic warlock on my TikTok. Anyway, I mean, just maybe. But anyway, um, welcome to Waterdeep. As you guys travel throughout the day, and again, this same one cultist is sitting on the back of the wagons, just glaring at you. Like, she hasn't. Like, you're not even convinced that she went to sleep the night before. In fact, Serial, roll me a perception check. Serial, you know she didn't sleep the night before because she stood up all night watching you. I'm gonna roll a perception check, see if she sees you. and she scowls harder. You're not sure how she gets a harder scowl on her face, but she's scowling harder. Pretty much. Anyway, so as it nears the time, 2 months you've been on the road. 2 whole goddamn months. You've been on this road, traveling from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep. Holy balls, you've wasted 2 months of a year just traveling to this godforsaken place. Well, God's forsaken place. However, as you get there, and as you're getting into the gate, you can't believe the amount of people you see. There are people everywhere for miles, just people all over the damn place. I mean, it's almost a little overwhelming, honestly. But you guys make it through the gate just fine. You make it through the gate, no muss, no fuss, nothing crazy going on, you know. Um, right? But I mean, it is massive. There are so many people here, you can't even believe it. Sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and just roll me a perception check. Nope. Nope. I was looking for appropriate audio, but unfortunately, Roll20 selection is very limited. I mean, Eric standing still, you might have fucking crashed. Just no offense, Eric. All right, well, you know, offense is taken, not given. So, but I was gonna say too. Anyway, um, there's probably gardens somewhere in this city. You don't see any where you're currently at. Fair enough. Anyway. This card, one of your cards was given to you. The other one you spent, yeah, the other one you spent pretty much a good bit of coin. Yeah. Yeah, but there's one that was given to you guys. No, you're misremembering. The one you were given, you turned into a forge. Have you guys been traveling with that many cards? Good God. Yeah. Well, Jesus. Mm. Anyway, good God. Fucking Jesus. But anyway, so as you guys finally make it into the city, because it was a chore getting in here. But, Water Keep? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, a little bit. Um, so, so as you guys get in to town, uh, it is very clear that you guys are going to be splitting now. Uh, Acrony pulls you guys aside. Well, you lot have done me a great service, and you've been just bully men. And here, and he pays you your remaining gold for your 10 day of service. Give me a second. Every one of you gets 10 gold. Actually, it's 20 gold because you've been on for 2 more 10 day. Mm-hmm. Not wrong. A 2 10s for a 5. So you guys head off. So you Acrony takes all of his supplies and all of his stuff on his original wagon because he's just been kind of hanging out on your wagon, Wolfenite, and he bails. As he does so, and as he's gone, Von Ram just kind of nods. Well, I'm going off with that one because, to be frank, y'all attract a little too much attention, and I need to go fight the eternal enemy. So this is where we part ways. But it's been a blast. And don't die and kill the eternal enemy. Hmm? He tilts his. Yeah, but. Yeah. He just kind of tilts his head. Alright, anyway. You imagine he probably told you that when he's pissed drunk because he looks at you like, A, what the hell are you talking about? And B, how the hell do you know that? Yep. But anyway, he just nods, don't lose him. And he points as the cultists are immediately like going off. And if you guys waste too much time, they will get away. So as you guys notice that as Bara remains with the cultists. You also notice that Jamna has now saddled up along next to you. I kind of want to stick with you guys until we find out where exactly the fuck they're going, huh? If that's all right. Me? No, I don't. I mean, sure. And she actually looks at you, Thierhay, like, is they fucking serious? I mean, I suppose I don't mind. It's just an odd kind of request, really. No, she doesn't have a horse. She has nothing. She looks at you and like points a knife at you. If you ever do that again, I'm gonna shove this through your eye sockets. Got me. She's like, that's kind of gross, but no, I'm gonna stab you right through your eye and into your brain if you ever do that again. I'm not a child. Got it? Nah, I'll stay on the cot. You already wasted your effort. Anyway, so I need everyone to roll a perception check. So Thirhay lifted Jamna up onto one of the carts because she's a gnome, and she threatened to put her knife through his eye socket and into his brain. Hmm? I was gonna say. I mean, good French accent, but aren't you like fucking Portuguese? Look, I made a 50-50 shot in the dark. I was like Singapore, Portugal, Singapore, Portugal, Singapore, Portugal. Look here. I only know I come from America because I hear the word America every day. Oh, I forgot when all of your birthdays were. Oh my god, I forgot David's birthday. Oh, no, no, I didn't because I showed up to his house and I bought him stuff at his house, but then he bought me the laptop. So now I have a plan. It's like I love him to death, but like I don't spend that kind of money on me. I'm not like I don't think I'm worth it. But you know what? I mean, maybe. But who am I missing? Yeah, whatever. Wait, I'm made out of what? Anyway, um, I was gonna say you will gain 10 pounds at least by the time you leave, and that's assuming Callie doesn't get in on it because Callie alone will make you gain 20. You might. You just might. But anyway. You're not wrong. But sorry, you've got 3 heavy drinkers in this goddamn group. Mason just doesn't drink anymore because he chooses not to. I don't drink because it's sad as hell to drink alone. But anyway, so you got thankfully Serial and Jay are able to and Thierhay, because you rolled a 19. Because it's not adding it for me. It just says +3. So I'm like, oh, 16. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's a whole another half of that equation. But anyway, so as you guys follow the wagon, you head to the north of Waterdeep. Actually, do I have a map of Waterdeep? I should. Like, that should be a thing that they gave me. Well, it should be in there. Like, somewhere you should have a map of Waterdeep. Map of Waterdeep. Images. What? Alright, fair enough. So, but now, map of Waterdeep for those of you on the stream who can see it. But yes, so you guys see that the whoop, you guys see that the cultists. You guys entered, by the way, from around this area down here where my cursor is. You entered through this gate before the Undercliff. So you guys are in the Trades Ward. No, I didn't switch map for you guys. I just switched a map for the stream because a chucklehead. Yeah. Give me a second. No. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried something bad was going to happen. Anyway, moving on quickly. Look. City maps. Did I actually have a map of Waterdeep somewhere and I just didn't know it? Nope. Okay, good. Because I actually need to be kind of careful when I do that kind of stuff because I need to. Don't talk about active cases, Matt. Alright, good. I don't know what good that would do. Or what I do with that information. Like, I'm all for collecting useless information, but like I don't know what I do with that particularly useless information. Waterdeep. Thank you. Like I don't even know how to respond to that. Well, I mean, you know. But anyway, so you guys are in Waterdeep. Sorry that took a lot longer than it should have. You guys entered through the trades ward, and you guys quickly discover that the cultists are headed north. Yes. And the castle ward, yes. Um, so they they're close to to the northern gate into Waterdeep. That technically leads out to the. Uh, Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, they're hanging around in the field ward. Um, as they as you follow them, um, uh, you notice that there's a stable out there, and they kind of pull up to it uh, and are not unloading, but they're definitely like relaxing at this point. You also notice that there are uh, other other wagons are already there, um, and you see that there are more cultists now. You also see that there's a bunch of workers and stuff around. Um, there's another stable just a couple streets away, or further down the street. Or you could try and stay at that one and rest your horses a bit. What would you like to do? You're not wrong. Okay. One further down the street, or one a couple streets over. Okay. Um, as you get there, you unsaddle, and take your horses. You stable them. You put your carts into a temporary storage. Um, there is an inn nearby you can stay at. Um, it's about 4 p.m., give or take. You guys travel. You guys got here at like 1. It has taken you a good 3 hours to get through Waterdeep. Big city, lots of traffic. Rattleghast just, I can go with young Celine. It might behoove us to see if any you were looking for someone specific on the caravan, were you not, Thierhay? You could ask around and see if that person has come through. And, does anyone want to keep an eye on our friends? And he kind of looks at you, Jay. He is not wrong. Excellent. Celine, why don't you follow me and we can go ask about work? Hmm? He just smiles. My dear, I do my best to be charming wherever I go. You cannot make. You must endeavor to make a good first impression. A first impression is a lasting impression. He just nods. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage. So, Celine, you are you are a fantastic person because people just love you. They want to do things for you. They're oh so happy to talk to you. And the way Rattlegast is using that to play off and make himself more approachable is definitely a boon to you. So, by exactly. And so from the course of the day, it's about 2 hours of time. By asking around, you know that the road leading north is called the High Road. It used to connect the city of Waterdeep and the city of Neverwinter. There is a cold coastal marsh called the Mire of Dead Men. It lays between the road and the coast. Over the years, as the mire expanded, the road had to be moved further and further inland. However, uh, Mount up in the north, uh, Mount or Mount Hot now was. It turns out it was a volcano, and when it erupted, it nearly destroyed the entirety of Neverwinter. And so, with the city in ruins, effort to keep the road working have stopped. Since then, there has been an actual concerted effort in rebuilding it because there is a man uh, named Lord Neverember who is looking to rebuild Neverwinter. In order to do that, the first and the biggest thing he had to do was to repair the road between Waterdeep and Neverwinter. So he has gathered together and hired the High Road Charter Company, which is a consortium of guilds and noble houses partnered with Lord Neverember in order to rebuild the road. Um, you find out that this road is in constant need of workers, guards, and is constantly sending supplies to a roadhouse that is designed to hold the materials and to act as a fortified location for the workers as they rebuild the road. You know that the man, a man by the name of Ardred, uh, Brifhue is in command of the entire convoy, and he is currently putting together a group in order to go to this roadhouse. It is the only direct road. So let's jump to the Sword Coast map real quick. So there are 2 roads that you could take from Neverwinter to Waterdeep. The problem is that yes, and vice versa. The problem is that one is called the Long Road, and in order to get to Neverwinter, you'd have to go through Redlark, Westbridge, Treebor, and also Long Saddle, and then you'd have to cut through Neverwinter Wood, or you would have to go all the way up to Mirabar, up in the way north, right beneath the spine of the world. And then you would have to journey down to Luskan and then down to Neverwinter. And that is a massive journey. In fact, you'd almost be pretty sure that's either as long or slightly longer than the road from Waterdeep to Baldur's Gate, because of the fact that you're having to go all the way around Neverwinter Wood, and you're going to have to pass through the crags and pass next to the Lurkwood. Oh, did I not drag you? I didn't drag you guys. Fucking. Yep. Viewers are getting better. Yeah, so you'd have to go through the Long Road, Redlark, Westbridge, Tribor, Long Saddle, all the way around to Neverwinter. Whereas the High Road, you pass through Leylon, but it is the only direct route connecting Waterdeep to Neverwinter. The problem is that right around here, the road is completely unusable. And that is why the High Road Charter Company has been employed to restore it. Yes. Ardred Briefhue. I'm going to post the name in chat. Fucking. Yes. Brifferhue, excuse me. Yep. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So you actually are able to find him fairly easily. Let me make sure that I get this correct. So you find that there is a large warehouse near the northern gate, just inside of it, actually. And this seems to be where Ardred is kind of preparing the caravan to go with all the supplies and what have you to go north to go do this job. And as you walk in with Radagast and say that you're here to offer yourselves for work, he actually he sees you, and he's a gruff-looking man, older in his days, and he looks at you. Well, good evening, little ma'am and sir. And he nods to Radagast. I hear you looking for work? You see him raise his eyebrow and just look at you kind of skeptically. Uh-huh. No offense, but this ain't the kind of route where we need, like, entertainment. This is some seriously dangerous country we're going through. He kind of thinks to himself and then nods. So, this merchant can vouch for you? Hmm. How many other men? Rattle, yeah, and Rattlegas just holds up six fingers, like, because he's slightly behind you, he just holds up six fingers. Uh-huh, and are they all like you? Rattlegas shakes his head. What he means, Celine, and he gently pats your shoulder. We have a capable fighter, a hero of this village Green Nest, fought off an invasion down there. We have a druid who knows the wilds and can help navigate us through dangerous terrains. We have a doctor who has recently joined with us, who also seems to be quite handy at curing things and protecting himself. And then we have a cleric who is able to not only heal, but also to defend with holy magics. And he just, so y'all looking for work? All of you? And he look kind of glances to Rattlegas, and Rattlegas shakes his head, like in the negative. Like you imagine there was something that did mistranslated, um, because of a few comments that you've made. Yep. Yeah. Oh. So, you're going to use prestidigitation to, uh, right, and you're going to enlighten him about the living broom. Mhm. You so using a combination of both. Go ahead and roll me a performance check with advantage. Well, actually, because she's using magic in order to prove, and yeah, but she also said that she's magical. So now proving that fact, and he nods his head. So, what I can do is I've been permitted by the generous Lord Neverember in this endeavor to hire on guards. I can pay you each 10 gold per 10 day that you work, uh, with, of course, any bonuses coming as the Lord's generosity increases. And should you choose to stay on, however long, then, of course, we can negotiate more. And that is why I'm giving you, and that is why I'm giving you the highest price I can give out for first timers. But unfortunately, I have yet to see you in action. And while I'm sure this merchant caravan will speak highly of you, they didn't have to travel through the mire of dead men. You see him like think a minute. Not quite that way. Mm. Hmm.
Rattlegas just looks at you.
Sure. Okay. Perhaps. He looks to Radagast. Your cleric can heal her if anything happens, yeah? He just nods. Okay then. Outside around the back where there's some space. And he walks out with you. And he looks to Radagast. Uh don't worry. This is not till the death. And Radagast just kind of shrugs as he leans. Radagast shakes his head as he just leans against a post. So here's what we're gonna do. As you go ahead and drag your token onto the map for me. Yep, there she is. She was way at the top. So and now if you look closer to around the middle to where Waterdeep is, yep. So he nods and goes over to a horse that's kind of stabled out here, and he just pulls a longsword from its saddle and brandishes it. Well then, come on and roll initiative. All right, Celine, you go first. By the way, the space you're in, you're about 20 feet from each other. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead and click it. The bubble. Nope. There it is. All right. Okay, so it's all right. Well, so quick thing. As a multi-class spellcaster, you can choose whatever spell slot you want to cast it with. You can either cast it as a warlock or you want to cast it as a warlock or a cleric, your choice. Well, deals an extra d6 of deals an extra d6. Oh, a check. Right, fair enough. Which, by the way, for our next roll 20 campaign, I actually have a way to do that properly. Correct. The only catch is it won't have deep magic, which I think we can all say okay. Because it wouldn't be so. There's an extension to your computers you can add called Beyond 20. It basically allows you to roll directly from your D&D Beyond, and it will appear in Roll 20. And so you can actually use a character sheet in D&D Beyond and roll it on Roll 20. The only catch is that it uses the database you have for D&D Beyond, not for Roll 20. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, to get the nat 20. Fair, fair. And all right. So, yes, I am aware of the damage that's being rolled. All right. Yep. So, right. All right. So, go ahead and click Guiding Bolt. Cast it at the spell level that you can cast it at. Yep. So you hit him, and he is still standing. Okay. So you move to the edge of the enclosure that you're at, because you are in an enclosure. You see him smirk, and he kind of cracks his neck as it's now his turn. You do also get an extra d6 of damage, by the way, for necrotic. Yeah, because it says and when you hit with an attack. So roll a d6. Oh, yep. So -2. Yep. So he cracks his neck, and as he does, you watch as some of those wounds that he received are healing. And he is glowing because that is part of the guiding bolt. Is you will get advantage on the next attack against him. And I am missing a D10 from. No, I'm not. I'm an idiot. I just can't see it. And that's only today. Tomorrow it'll be more. Yep. So he heals and looks fairly fresh as he moves forward and closes the distance rather easily. And he brings up his long sword and he swings at you with two hands. And it's gonna roll. Let me just go ahead. Yup. He can move, yo. Uh, so does a 23 hit? Guiding bolt just gives you advantage. It doesn't give him disadvantage. All right, so you take 13 bludgeoning damage as he cracks you in the leg with the flat of his blade. And he's going to swing again. Mm-hmm. If you're talking about Hellish Rebuke, yes, you can do it. That, yeah, Misty Action is a bonus action. Yes. You're at 20. Temp HP. Oh, yeah. You took leadership. Mm-hmm. Okay. Click. Mm-hmm. So, again, Hex only gives him disadvantage on ability, dexterity checks, not saving throws. Correct. That has been the bit. Yeah, that is the biggest action. That is the biggest thing that has always been misunderstood with warlocks and hex. Yep. So, um, yep. So he did succeed. No, it's for half. Yeah. So 23 halved. Yep. So he takes 11 points of damage as he swings and hits you on a 21 and deals 12 points of bludgeoning damage as he cracks you in the side of the ribs now. And that was his action, bonus action, movement. So now he's going to end his turn, and it's now your turn, Celine. Mm-hmm. She can indeed. You took the 13, which only translated to 2 natural, and then you took 12, so 14 total. Mm-hmm. For that round. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yep. Okay, so it does have disadvantage because it's a ranged spell attack in melee, but you get advantage from the guiding bolt, so it's a flat roll. All right, you're out of fortunes for the day, and a 19 misses. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you watch as the armor he is wearing is heavier, or at least you think it's heavier, but he's also very quick in this armor. So, uh, anything else? All right. So as he swings at you, this time he cracks you in the head with a nat 20 and deals 20 points of bludgeoning damage. As he does so, though, you are now seeing stars. And he looks down at you. Do you yield? He looks at Rattlegast. Rattlegast just gives a shrug and he swings again. An 18 meets your armor class, so he just barely hits you, and he hits you for 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he sends you into unconsciousness. Oh, so you're at 1. Yep. Yep, you're on like one knee because you just took almost your whole HP, so you're like on one knee. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. She challenged him, and he did his best to dissuade her from this. Actually, I was thinking it of the TikTok video where the girl comes up to her boyfriend on the porch. Hey, you want to see what I learned in self-defense class? No. What are you, a pussy? And then immediately he just clotheslines her, kicks her foot out, and slams her to the fucking floor. That is true. You are correct. You are correct. But So 26 last round, and technically 14 that she felt. 27 in total last round. But he is using 2 hands on a longsword. You're not wrong. She's a cleric. Well, yeah, you and Serial probably have the best chances here. White Hill, come on. He could he could hit you. Uh, yeah, no one's saying it's not. Okay. So you heal for 10. You use your main action to cast Cure Wounds on yourself, and you use your bonus action for the Healing Light. So he looks at you. Do you yield? He swings. That's a nat 20. She is. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, so it says whenever you use a spell of first level or higher to restore hit points to a creature, the creature gains an additional hit points to 2 plus spells level. Yep. Oh, well, that was only 15 on that one. Oh, is that down? 33. And you had temp HP to start. You guys actually started on a similar plane, but he had a second wind because he has fighter levels. But yeah, he's a bit higher than you, but he's also much older than you. Um, yep. As you go down, Rattlegast is there to grab you and lift you up, and he nods his head. I'll still pay you the 10. Rattlegast nods. And he's going to perform a medicine check. Although technically it's non-lethal damage, so you're not actually bleeding anywhere, so you're just unconscious. But he's still going to perform a medicine check to see if he can get you up. Yeah. You rolled double nat 20s, and then there was a nat 20 for Serial for the charisma saving throw. And then there was the two nat 20s there. Actually, Actually, that's kind of what killed poor Darmy. Well, yeah, but he critted on those rolls. Yep. He rolled a 13, so you are conscious now. As he's dragging you away, your head's ringing. And he whispers to you, that was a slightly unfair fight. No, he has magic gear. Right, but that's Rattlegast trying to console you. Is he saw that this guy's wearing magic gear, to which he is. he just he's he smiles and just shakes his head and just takes you along. Mm-hmm. So while this is happening, Cereal and Fearhay, right? Black half dragon bitch. So roll an investigation check with advantage because you're in fucking Waterdeep. Mm-hmm. Well, you just might. It is Waterdeep. Let me remind you how big this city is. I think maybe you forget. Okay. So you go through most of the field ward and the north ward. And as you head down to the trade ward, you do find that yes, you could possibly procure a forge that you could possibly fit in your wagon. Here's the problem. The anvil will run you 100. The actual forge will probably run you closer to 300 because they'd have to build it custom for you on your cart. It would also take about 2 weeks to do. It they would take they would take about about a fourth of the price off, give or take. Let me see. I'm gonna roll to see how fast that information has traveled. So you do you do mention that you are Serial Dragonsbane, the hero of Green Nest. And while the man nods his head, well, technically, anybody could be a hero of that podunk. And quite frankly, a blue dragon attacking a nowhere place like that, come on. So, word has gotten there. It's just, it's a small town. It's barely a map dot. And a blue dragon sacks the town? Really? Don't forget, dragons are very rare creatures, even in favor. They're a nuisance in certain areas, but they are rare. Alrighty. Why don't you fucking start with that? You fucking dickhead. You could have started with yeah, okay, fine, let's sell some shit. So, so you have 3 sets of armor, you said? I was gonna say, okay. So, so the skeletons are currently wearing the Baldur's Gate guard armor uniforms and shit that you guys got off of those, uh, yeah. So the 3 Baldur's Gate guard longswords and the 3 Baldur's Gate guard armor are on 3 of his skeletons. So that was a thing that happened. Yes, please. Yep. Also, I think one of the bows was given to one of the skeletons. Right. So you can pick either a longbow or a short bow. I don't care. I think actually skeletons are naturally statted with a short bow, so go ahead and give him the short bow. Um, what is that static, Callie? Okay, I was like, are you disconnecting? Are you having issues? What's up? Yeah, fair enough. Oh, fair enough. So a spear, 6 longbows, and 4 javelins. Are you wielding your greatsword? Okay. So he nods his head. I'll give you a silver piece for every javelin. I'll give you 4 silver pieces for the spear. And I'll give you 20 gold pieces for each of the longbows. You realize a longbow costs 50 gold, right? $10. You certainly can. Okay. So go ahead and mark all that bookkeeping. Yep. I need to... Who? White said, don't give me a heart attack, and I was like, who the hell are you talking to? Ah. I mean, fair enough. Alright, so, I assume you took your cart down there, or at least a cart, because you can't carry this back yourself. Okay. So, yeah, you managed to get all the stuff loaded and heading back just fine. Fearhay, you wanted to do some investigating about a half dragon, yes? Okay. Uh, as you guys get back to the field ward, go ahead and roll me another investigation check. So, what you're able to find out is that there was a black half dragon here. And it's the talk of the town. Or rather, the talk of the field ward, anyway. Because, yeah, they don't ever really show up. But they're only rumors, really. But everyone says, "Oh, I've seen it," or "Oh, she was as big as a mountain, or big as a house. She was breathing acid on people." Oh yeah, you've got the rumor mill really working, and but if the nearest sighting that you can tell was she was here a 10-day ago. Yeah, so she was here 10 days ago. And you just miss her. But she also was traveling with a strong escort of guards, presumably headed north. But you can't actually pin down if anyone saw her leave, or if anyone knows she left, or where she was going. But all the rumors seem to say she was heading north with a strong escort. Um, Wolfenite and Jay, two of you were doing? Sure. Roll an investigation check. And Jay, you're accompanying him to a garden. By the way, Jay, go ahead and add a vial. It's a D&D basic poison vial. You can go ahead and add 2 of those. Wolfenite, you and Jay lost somewhere in the Sea Ward. You're not quite sure where you are, but you have. You can still retract it. Nearby. So in the field ward, there isn't one. You can't find one. However, the one thing that you can find is that all of the cultists do go to this warehouse, this big old warehouse that you see Rattlegast and Celine walk away from at some point. They also all tend to stay close to the inn nearby their stable. There's an inn close to your stables as well, but they seem to be resting their horses. And it looks like they're planning to stay at least a day here. That you have no idea because you didn't want to get close enough for Jay to be spotted, because otherwise that might turn into a scrap. And while the city guard here in Waterdeep is great and even has Griffin riders to make aerial combat and guarding a thing, yeah, you don't want to bring down a city guard on your heads, considering it would probably look bad, considering it's all their word against the 2 of you. And if they didn't kill you before the guard get there, all they'd have to do is say you attacked them, and it's, multiple words and witnesses against you. And while that may not be the truth, you do understand how the truth doesn't often apply. But you do see that all of them tend to stay near the stables or in the tavern, or rather the inn that they're renting. Anything else? Okay. So as you guys reconvene, Rattlegast and Celine do show up. However, you notice that not long after they arrive, they are accompanied by a man. He's an older gentleman, human, and definitely looks to be in charge. And he nods as he looks at you all. Oh, so you're the adventuring band I hired, huh? And Rattlegast gestures. This is our dread Briffer Brifferhue, and he has agreed to take us on as escorts to this caravan uh, in order to get to the camp. And he nods. Yep, we'll be leaving the day after tomorrow, and you guys are traveling light, right? Uh, so I'm going to speak on behalf of the High Road Charter Company here that if you bring those wagons, your liability is your own, and we do not take any responsibility for anything damaged, broken, destroyed, etc. in your carriages. Do you understand? And if you hold us up, we will dock your pay. Got it? All right then. So, total so far, and I think this will be probably the gist of it. There's 6 supply wagons, 12 escorts, including the 6 of you, and then 2 dozen laborers marching out. And we're gonna head up to the roadhouse there. If things go as planned, it's about 200 miles or so. So a while. Um, a little bit more. Well, about 200 miles. So yeah, it's about a 10 day and a half, give or take. Okay. Are they capable of speech? Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that, I understood how you were going to go about this chicanery. Oh, they do. Obviously. And remove, yeah, and remove any other accoutrement they may have from. All right, fair enough. Got it. Easily done. Because, normal people just travel around with flesh. Can't say I do off the top of my head. Yes, you did. And what do these notes say? Okay. Yeah. You can reply to this message. Fucking, I love it. All right, cool. Fair enough. So, so they go off and go do. Um, uh, well, so, funnily enough, one of them does come back. He comes back about 3.5 hours later, and he's he comes back from the stables that the cultists are using. well, he's not there. However, you'd notice that he has no message on him. He has in his hand a scrap of the piece of paper that you gave, and is holding it out to you. You see the line, like a little line and a hook. Like, let me draw it for you on the map. See, like a line and a hook. Like, it could be an M or maybe an N. But oh, sorry, I'm gonna draw it in Waterdeep. Yep, yep. That's the only thing on that paper. Yep. Oh yeah, it's gone. Yeah, you're down one Skellyman. Anyway. Yep. But yeah, you are now missing a Skellyman, and you have a little line with a little chica hanging off the side of it. And well, it looks like it's written in common using the human alphabet. So, well, it could be an N or an M or yeah. Huh? Technically. So then he's just dead. Well, and then when that ends, who knows? So next hour and a half, he's just a dead person. Um, but so as you guys, reserve your spot at the inn that's next to your stable, which will only run you about 4 silvers for the night and for breakfast. Nope. But between all of you, you can afford it easily. Um, well, yeah. Except someone will have to cover Thierhay unless he wants to sleep in the wagons. But so as you guys break to do your evening routines, that is where we will cut it for the night. Always a pleasure. The inn that they're staying at, you've seen like maybe 4 or 5 of the ones that you've seen on the road, like come and go. Okay. Okay. So so you guys can go ahead and add 300 more XP to all of you. Yep. Yep. And then for the pretty impressive role playing that's been going on, everybody can add another 50. No particular standout moments just yet. Um, but yeah, there's a chill session, and that's okay. Um, but anyway, I would like to thank my amazing players for playing, and I certainly would like to thank you, our audience, for watching. And just to reiterate, if you look back at the beginning of this stream and back at the beginning of the video, though I will reiterate, I have one spot available for D&D 5e Adventures, which is Friday at 4 a.m. This is Pacific Standard Time. All of mine are Pacific Standard Time. That is for D&D 5e Adventures. For the D&D Essentials Adventure, I know I have 2 open spaces, and that is at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays, Pacific Standard Time. Also, just a thank you to D&D Beyond and a thank you to Roll20 for being amazing tools that all of us can use. I highly recommend going and subscribing to them. It does create a world of difference. My only real gripe right now is I'm finding running a D&D professionally through Roll20 is I have to share my compendium with games, and I only have a limited number of shared compendiums I could do at my current level. And I'm at the highest level that Roll20 has, and I can only share my compendium with like 5 games. It is difficult. In D&D Beyond, I can only share it with 3. So it's difficult, but I'm making do for the most part. Gonna figure it out eventually. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But no, it's just a lot of fun to do these sessions. For those of you who watched the stream of Vodari session, I am sorry that the audio was utter trash. I am still learning. Still learning the rule. Still learning how to stream. Still learning how to set everything up. The audio you picked up is my fan because it gets hot as balls in here. Mostly because I have 3 monitors. Yeah, I have 3 monitors running. It is moving into summer. I have a laptop running, and yeah, there's a lot of heat in here. Not to mention my light doesn't help. So it creates a lot of heat in here, and I am so sorry that there was that fan going the entire time. I hope that it is not as bad this one. I did alter a lot of mic settings, so it. Right, but we won't. That's the thing. Is I listened to the session because I have all these recorded and saved on my computer. I was listening to the session, and yeah, it's a whole drone through the whole goddamn session. I am so pissed. Oh yeah, I did a lot of audio tweaking because I found out that it's actually picking up my video cam mic, my webcam mic, as well as my actual headset mic, and it's picking them both up at the same time. So I did, and that's what I've disabled my webcam mic. And I did some experimenting with the fan and stuff earlier, and my headset mic wasn't picking it up. So I hope that it stayed that way. But we'll see. But anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much to all of you who are sharing with your friends and family that I'm trying to be a professional DM. I couldn't do it without you guys, sharing and trying to help me out. I greatly appreciate it. For those of you who are big Critical Role fans, don't forget Critical Role is tomorrow night, the live episode. For those of you who can catch it. And that is sorely tempting, but I kind of want to play with you guys. So, I was like, yeah, I'll forgo catching a live Critical Role episode. Besides, I'm behind. I stopped catching up because I just kind of stopped watching streams for a bit. Nice. Yep. And another thing is that the Seas of Vodari campaign is going to be next week at this same time slot, not 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yep, everybody's level 3. They now have their subclasses, and we're gonna see what kind of chicanery they get into. And now we are officially in Chapter 5 of Tyranny of Dragons, and no, it's of 17. So we're about halfway there. About. Technically, there's 8 chapters in Horde of the Dragon Queen, which is the first adventure. In Rise of Tiamat, there's another 9. So 17. But anyway, also, for those of you who are huge Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel fans, a brand new video was posted by VivziePop today about her spring sale. I may not have spent way too much money on it, but at the same time, I regret nothing. And, more Hell of a Boss is on its way and bigger episodes. Hopefully soon we'll get a Has Been Hotel. I pray to God. I'm rocking my new, finally fresh in Fizzarali shirt with the nice sleeve patterns. I'm super stoked. Um, but yeah, so definitely go watch. Definitely show support for Vizzy Pops and her amazing creation. And it is going to be another great year for YouTube, D&D, and fan base creations all over the place because we're all still recovering. But with those announcements aside and those parting remarks, I'd like to again thank my fantastic cast of characters, and I will introduce them to you again. And actually, I think for the first time ever, in the same goddamn order that we started with, we have ended in. So, immediately to my right, and I don't know what position this may be for the camera, but this is my right. Immediately to my right is Mr. Eric, who plays Jay, our human Way of Mercy monk. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? And then far to the right is Mr. Whitehill playing Thirahe, our Tortle Death Domain cleric. Directly underneath me is Mr. Masson playing Serial, our Rune Knight Wood Elf. We directly beneath, right? Yeah, but they're gonna get canceled by cancel culture later anyway, so don't worry about it. Anyway, so directly under Eric is Mr. Matt playing our Earth Genasi Wildfire Druid, Wolfenite. And the two places where actual foliage is normally spotted. There's a bit of it here and there, but you're right. Most of this is not foliaged at all. And then, of course, we have the ever lovely Callie Cat playing Celine the Stargazer. Again, stargazing and being the heart and soul of the party, it seems. You successfully made a new friend. You just got hit really hard. And then, you're not wrong. And of course, my brother David could not be here, but I hope I reprised his role as Rattlegast as best as I could. Not near as good as David, I am sure, but yeah, definitely as good as I could do. But thank you all so much for watching. I am Dr. John Wolfenstein. You can find me on TikTok at Dr. Wolfenstein. You can find me on Instagram. You can pretty sure under the same thing. And you can definitely follow my YouTube channel at Dr. Wolfenstein. Yes, I appreciate it. But anyway, guys and gals, I have been your humble master of dungeons, and it has been my great pleasure to bring you another episode of Tyranny of Dragons. And until next time, and until the next episode of Tyranny of Dragons, see ya.